Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another edition here of Intuitive Angling. Really appreciate you guys taking a little time to watch the video. And just wanted to do a quick follow-up video on the one I put out this morning talking about how anglers that come from wealthy families have a big advantage, because we got a ton of comments on this. A pretty popular topic, and I wanted to not just clarify, but I wanted to make some additional remarks on this. One of the things we're talking about on this particular thing is that here's my opinion on it. It doesn't have anything to do with the anglers themselves. The anglers themselves are just, they're in a situation, everybody's unique to their own. It's the tournament organizations that are responsible for policing this situation to create a level playing field. And for everybody out there saying that they don't want a level playing field, that's the biggest bunch of crap I've ever heard in my life. We need level playing fields on every single sport that we have in there. Let's say, for example, let's take, for example, golf. Let's say that somebody invented a golf ball, like somebody invented a live scope, that when you hit it, it would go 500 yards instead of, the traditional golf ball. But this golf ball, costs $300,000 to have, and there's no rules against not having this golf ball. So all the golfers that could afford, to pay $300,000 for a golf ball just began dominating the events. And it's sort of the same with tournament fishing. Tournament fishing is the only sport out there that doesn't have some type of policing on what you can spend as far as your equipment goes for tournament fishing. And in my opinion, everybody should have access to the same equipment. If the tournament organizations are going to, continue to keep live scope legal, fine. Everybody should be able to have a live scope. Or if live scopes aren't legal, nobody should have to be able to have a live scope. If some guy can afford to have 30 rod and reels in the boat, then everybody should have 30 rod and reels in the boat. It's not fair for the tournament organizations to allow some guys to have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment simply because they can afford it, and then the next dude has to mow grass to get enough money to put in his boat, and he's got 2 rod and reels and a junky boat trying to compete in the same arena, even though he has the desire and the passion and the skills to do that, but he's not on that same equal playing field equipment wise. And ultimately, until that issue is addressed, professional bass fishing cannot be considered a legitimate sport in the light that other sports are. And this is a shame, because professional bass fishing and bass fishing in general is what's the greatest sport in the world when you take money out of it. Money has become, and it becomes even a more increasing factor in the sport that creates a separation in the level of success that anglers can enjoy. Now people say, it's just a matter to quit whining and get out there and work, and nobody this and that. It's not that easy, guys. Let's take, like I said, all these dudes out there that were able to have new boats and motors and unlimited tackle because their parents can afford it, or guys out there that struggled and didn't have any help whatsoever. That is not, you cannot equate that to the same level. Put the kids or the guys out there that had wealthy family money and take that money away from them. Make them go out there and mow that lawn in order to put gas in their, junky boat out there. Then you have an equal playing field. And the whole point of the video I wanted to make is that the only people that can police this and the only people that can address this and do anything about it are tournament organizations. Until tournament organizations figure out some way to level the playing field equipment-wise, you're always going to have this injustice and the income disparity in bass fishing. And how you do that is you stop accelerating the cost of the sport. There's not another sport in this country where the cost of the sport accelerates like in pro fishing. You look at all the other sports that have withstood the test of time: football, baseball, golf, bowling, soccer, all the foreign sports out there. They have got equipment limitations they put in place. Racing's got specs on cars. Every single organization there has some type of a equipment limitation, not only to preserve the tradition of the sport, but to help equalize the playing field too. And right now we have a situation where the poor people in this country, the people that do not have the resources, are discriminated against in tournament fishing, professional tournament fishing. And that's just the way it is. I mean, you cannot deny the reality of that fact. And I, for one, think this is it's a tragedy in our sport, because I'm around so many guys, so many kids out there that are ate up with fishing, absolutely ate up with it. And for whatever reason, they are not in the financial situation to be able to compete in bass fishing tournaments, while other people are. It's an unfair situation, and don't think it can't happen, guys. All you guys out there that said that, you know, that can't really relate to that as far as in terms, and you've never not had money. It can happen to anybody. Things can happen in life in a split second, and you could be out on the street corner. I mean, it can happen to anybody out there. So, point of the video I want to make here is we have got to address this issue of income disparity in fishing. It's getting worse and worse. The separation is getting greater and greater. I see it. I've got comments, guys. I get private messages from guys all the time, you know, telling me their plight over this, and they're not whining, they're not complaining. They're frustrated. These guys love to bass fish, and they cannot keep up with the technology race that is required to compete in fishing. All I have to do is go back and look at the tournament results. Almost 90% of the tournaments, it's the same thing. If I didn't have my live scope, I wouldn't have won this tournament. If I didn't have my 360 imaging, I wouldn't have won this tournament. That costs money. That costs money that's hard to get from guys that are out there having to mow grass to put gas in their boat. So, point of the video is this is a serious situation that needs addressed. Some of you guys can goof on it and not acknowledge the reality. I'm around it. I've been there. I know what it's like. It degrades what the sport can be, and it's like I said, it's just a shame, because there's so many different aspects of the sport that make it the greatest sport in the world. And every time I see something like this that makes it harder for the lower income people in this country to pursue that, it's just really irritating to me. So anyway, just want to throw that out there, guys, and we'll talk later. See you.